Thank you guys so much, man. I really am happy to be here in Cleveland. I wanted to shoot this in Cleveland because I really wanted to do the show and then be murdered on the way back to the hotel. Where is everybody? I feel like I'm on the set of The Walking Dead. And I was in LA recently, and I had the weirdest, it was actually on the way home from that Aussie shoot, the weirdest celebrity sighting on the plane. Sitting in front of me, Al Sharpton was on the plane directly in front. And it was so weird to root for my own flight to crash. Talk about mixed emotions as the plane is going down. Yay, fatso. Ooh, do I not like Al Sharpton. He got stabbed years ago in Brooklyn, and I found out the guy who stabbed him is a big fan of mine. Which is cool, because I like his work, too. I just wish he was better at his job. Because Sharpton makes races so difficult. We all try to do the right thing, and we all try to say the right thing, but he makes it even harder than it needs to be. And the media is the worst. They won't mention race during certain suspect descriptions. That's how politically correct we are as a country. I was reading in the New York Daily News the description of a rape suspect, and they didn't mention the guy's race. Now, once you're caught, I don't care what you look like, but if we're still looking for you, how about you mention all pertinent information so we know who to avoid on the elevator? Not that I'm the rape target, but I think you understand. This was the politically correct description they gave. They said the young man was in his 20s, approximately 5'9", 185 pounds, and was wearing a red sweatshirt. You want to cut the hunt in half? Red sweatshirt, really? Why would you mention the thing he can change, but not the race, which he can't? What do you think, he's gonna leave the sweatshirt on until the manhunt is over? All his friends are telling him, he might want to take that sweatshirt off. No, I commit all the rapes in this. This is my lucky sweatshirt. There's a lot of blood and hair and DNA on this baby. And I'm talking about black people and white people. I'm sure other groups have these racially uncomfortable moments. It's not just black and white. I'm sure Korean guys have them with Vietnamese guys. We would never notice, but I'm sure it does happen. Like, I'd believe you if you told me that's what it was. Like, oh, really? I thought it was one guy yelling in a mirror. You ever do something that you know makes you look racist even though you're not? Like, I was on a plane, and I'm getting into the row to sit, and there's 3 seats, and the woman in front of me getting into the window seat was a black woman. She was about 20 years old. And then there's me, and the woman getting into the aisle was a black woman who was about 55, and I don't know what had made me think they were traveling together. But my heart was in the right place. I was trying to be a courteous, nice passenger, and I'm like, oh, do you two want to sit together? You ever have words come out and you immediately want to put them back in with a shotgun? I recognized my mistake fast because the younger woman actually goes, sit together, and the older woman was like, why would we? They're not even from the same part of the earth. I was off by oceans and continents. The woman said, why would we? There's no acceptable answer for that question. Because you're black, that's why. We like to see it all blacks in one area of the aircraft, madam. I was so humiliated, I just took the path of least resistance. I'm like, I'm sorry, I thought you were lesbians. Enough of this politically correct, polite, not... Americans seem almost phony at this point. We're always trying to avoid saying, when did we become such easily offended, whiny fucking babies? I never realized how many sports writers wanted to write chink in the armor until Jeremy Lin scores 35 points. And then they can't get to the keyboards fast enough. Wonder if he has a chink in the armor. What if he has yellow fever? Get it? Get it? Holy shit, we love to watch. And I think people use this eggshell walking that we do to their advantage. Like, people play semantics games. Like in New York, the big story for the last couple of years, they want to put a mosque at ground zero in New York City. Which, yeah, I would prefer they didn't. But I don't want the government to tell them that they can't either. You can't legislate anything with religion. I have no legal argument, and here's my whole legal argument. Why don't you want that mosque at ground zero? I rest my case. But everybody understands why that feels uncomfortable. Just because it's legal, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. I mean, it's legal, but that doesn't mean you should put a condom machine in the lobby of a rape crisis center. And the people running the mosque project were playing these word games because they thought people would be too uncomfortable to say the truth. The guy was like, I don't know why anybody would be offended by a mosque at ground zero. There are strip clubs in that area. Thank God. And he's like, why doesn't that offend people? Gee, I don't know, stupid. Maybe the implications are a little different. Girls with big glittery tits didn't hijack planes and fly them into the buildings. They had, I'm sure we would have forgiven much quicker. I know I'd be a lot more open-minded about it. Well, this gal's upset. Let's see what she has to say. And when did airport security become this shocking procedure in America? I love the fact that we act like such civil liberty victims because they want to frisk us. Why do they have to frisk us at the airport? Gee, I don't know. Maybe because we don't live in utopia where a guy's walking through and they're like, hey, do you have a bomb? And he's like, you got me. Like, what do we expect? We demand safety, we demand security, and yet we bitch and moan every step of the way and feel victimized. And people are like, well, profiling is never right. Bullshit. We just don't like negative profiles. You've never heard anybody complain about a positive profile. Hey, is that your kid? He looks kind of smart. Whoa, him? No. No, his mother drank the entire time she was pregnant with him. Ruins every, go ahead, say something. See, dumb motherfucker, watch it. Bullshit, it's only a negative profile, and I get stopped 70% of the time that I'm going through airport security. They ask me to step aside. They're profiling me, and they don't look at me and think Islamic terrorism. They look at me and think Oklahoma 95. I look like every disgruntled, creepy white shooter. And it's mildly annoying at worst. It's not that bad. It doesn't ruin your life. They're like, could you push your arms out, please? And all right, you feel a little self-conscious because you're standing in crucifixion pose. And typically nobody standing like this is doing well at the moment. And, the pat-down used to be a quick functionary one, and now it's a little more involved. They come under the wrist and under the armpit, down the torso, around the waist, one hand on the outer leg, one hand up on the inner thigh, and you really want to creep them out when they touch the inner thigh, go, Let your legs buckle a little bit. Give a sexy laugh. And then they press very firmly all the way down to your ankles to search for weapons. Now, I always wear sweatpants when I fly. And I take Cialis. It's the recipe for an amazing moment. At least once every flight, I have to elbow the person next to me and go, oh. But I was in Newark Airport, and it was a younger TSA guy. It's like a younger cop. They're a little overzealous. And he was very firmly pressing down my leg, and I could feel the sweatpants starting to go. And I was gonna say something, but I'm like, let it happen. It'll be nice to do this once without getting arrested. And they slid down to about mid-thigh, and I was so annoyed that I had on underwear. I'm like, this could have been the greatest moment of my life, because he told me to put my arms up. Not only would I not have pulled the sweats up, but I would have opened my legs nice and wide so that he couldn't pull them up either. Ball's in your court, officer. And I'll say this, I think for women, the searches are a bit more invasive, so maybe the TSA needs to fix what they do, because for women, it's a bit more to go through. I think you guys have a harder time than we do, because that's what I go through as a man, and it's nothing. But for a woman to have to stand there and have your breasts mushed together and your own breast milk poured down your throat, your buttocks separated, whatever else I would do if I had that job. How do you not abuse that power? You're no terrorist. And I think the really alarming part of that joke is how tall is this woman? So then they install these full body scanners, right? Where you stand there for 10 seconds and they take an x-ray of you, and people complain about that. And it's like, I don't know what we expect, but people's self-centeredness, people were afraid that somebody was going to capture the image of them and see the photo-negative outline of their penises or their breasts, or in my case, both, because I'm in horrible physical shape. And you would see these awful people on the news like, you know, I don't want to see myself and my wife uploaded to the internet. Nobody wants to see you and that horse you walk down the aisle with. You pompous idiot. You think you're the couple I jack off to when I'm looking for porn? The 45-year-old account executive, you're packing 5 inches, your wife has one breast larger than the other. She hasn't shaved in 6 weeks. Her bush looks like the big ragu from Laverne and Shirley. And look, I would be very interested to hear anybody's alternative solution. But look, how do you stop the mentality of a guy like the underwear bomber who they just gave life in prison to not too long ago? He was going to blow himself up, dick and balls first. All suicide bombers are repulsive, but dick and balls first. Even though it's only a nanosecond, there's still a nanosecond where you're like, my dick and balls are gone! And I'm not a paranoid guy, but I am scared of plunging 30,000 feet. So when people are always like, now, and people get very pissed off at this stance I take, and I get all these emails from these civil libertarians. They're like, you know, you don't care about your privacy. Ben Franklin once said, he who will sacrifice liberty for safety deserves neither liberty nor safety. Ooh. Did Ben Franklin say that? Well, fuck Ben Franklin. A, Ben Franklin had slaves. B, Ben Franklin wore stockings. And C, Ben Franklin never had to worry about plunging 30,000 feet because some savage yelled Allah Akbar and blew his dick and balls off in the clouds. And don't get me wrong, I value my privacy as much as any person in the room, but we're a nosy country. Why don't we just admit how nosy we are? I'll be interested in hearing people talk about privacy when there's an accident in the southbound lane and the northbound lane maintains 65 miles an hour. Then I will believe people when they say they value privacy. Until then, we are a country of morbid jizz buckets who like to watch other people's lives go into the toilet. So let's shut the fuck up. The only politician I really, really hate, and I don't even want to hate him because it's too predictable a position for a comedian to take to hate the arch conservative, but Rick Santorum, I really, really detest as a person. And here's why I hate him. I'll explain why. Not just because he's conservative, I hate anyone who wants to legislate against gay marriage. It just annoys me, because he wants to go after gay marriage, heavy metal. And it's like, come on, gay marriage and heavy metal, that covers the ears, the mouth, and the asshole. Any other holes you want to regulate, you fuck? I don't pray often, but when I do, it's that Rick Santorum is arrested for blowing somebody in a rest area. Oh. I have never wanted TMZ so badly to get a photo of a guy pulling his mouth off a hole in a bathroom stall. That's the sound of the camera. With a large penis hanging. Hanging, of course, because it's just been drained by a professional. With a little piece of spittle connecting. Yeah, because he does it to the root. Fucking asshole. And I also hate him, but I don't hate him because he's pro-life. I happen to be pro-choice because I'm still having sex and I can't keep an erection with a condom, so abortions are good. Really, not only are abortions good, but I stock up on morning after pills just to slip in your beverage. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Why is it fizzing? It's just a little concoction called the tuition saver. Go ahead, enjoy. So I don't hate him because he's pro-life, but I do hate him because he thinks even if a woman is raped or is a victim of incest, she should have to keep the baby. It's like, what the fuck? He's like, well, even a rape baby is a gift from God. It's a shitty gift, don't you think? And being God, couldn't he figure out a better way to get the gift to the woman? I want to bestow life upon this woman. Well, she does not have a husband, Lord. Then let that guy in the red sweatshirt fuck her in the alley, now! I want that gift in her pussy. All right, I heard you, Lord, sorry. It's a gift. So I guess that means it wouldn't be a crime if I went to Rick Santorum's house and jerked off over his face, as long as I yelled happy birthday as I jizzed in his eye. I need a woman badly. I need a woman. I have been single for 10 months now. Ooh, one fat girl. I can't see you, miss, but the fact that you went, woo, you gotta be pushing 350. I don't get nervous on stage at all. I really don't. This is completely comfortable. But for some reason, those one-on-one, awkward social moments absolutely ruin me. And I'm 43 years old. It's not cute to be shy at my age. Being shy is cute when you're like 21 or 22. You know, you walk up like, hi. Women are like, oh, get over here. You're cute. You know, if you're trying to fuck Paul Lind. Horrible impression of a woman that was. I clear my throat a lot, which you don't even notice when you're talking to another guy, and I never realized how gross it was until I got that look. Because I think I'm lactose intolerant, nothing to be alarmed about, I'm gonna be okay. But certain foods just make me like, ugh, which is sickening. If you're like, so I, and I know I do this, and I'm such an ass. You think I would avoid certain foods, but I'm at the bar, and I'm like, yeah, the lady will have a vodka and a buttermilk for me, please. And then for 35 minutes, I'm like, no, it's just mucus and phlegm clinging to my vocal cords as I try to get your underpants off. It's even worse if you're going down on her, because she's just gonna blame herself. No, it's not you, it's me. I had a dairy product earlier. It was on my way over, and I was eating cheese out of a baggie. You always sound like you're lying when you clear your throat. Even if you're being perfectly honest, you sound like a liar. Did you touch that child? No. Then you gotta quickly turn your Penn State hat around. Now, I understand that was a tragic set of events, but for comedians, it was a dream come true. And enough with people getting mad about making fun of that. Tired of fucking Joe Paterno. Everybody saying what a legend he was. Look, I'm sure he was a great guy, but as far as I was concerned, when pretty convincing pedophilia allegations arose, he didn't do enough. So fuck him. When he died, I made fun of him. You know, people, and then he gave that self-serving press conference, which was really irritating. He's like, I really loved my time at Penn State. Well, of course you did. You weren't being fucked in the shower, stupid. Why wouldn't you? And I thought Bob Costas did a good job when he interviewed Sandusky. He asked some really good questions. But Sandusky just creeped me out. The sound of his voice made me go like, wow. Because Costas was like, well, why would McQueary lie about what he saw in that shower? And Sandusky's like, I don't know. You'll have to ask him. Ugh. Are you jerking off now? And here's a word of advice. If you're ever accused of being a pedophile, and Bob Costas says, are you sexually attracted to children? How about this? Say no. It's a 2-letter, 1-word answer. No, your answer should never be longer than that unless you're going, no. No. But you should not go, well, I like young people, I enjoy being around young people. There's a semicolon and 20 words in that answer, you fucking creep. That's the rule of thumb. If somebody says, are you sexually attracted to children? If the first word of your answer is, well, you're guilty. Yeah, and I'm glad you're laughing at this. It's okay, it's anti-pedophile. So if you're offended by this material, you know what you enjoy doing. Like if you're with somebody right now and they're like, oh, I don't think this is very appropriate at all. He shouldn't be joking about this. Check their hard drive. Because here's the mentality of people who are offended. You know who got really mad at me on Twitter for a Jerry Sandusky joke? Margie Phelps. Now, you know who Margie Phelps is. She's a member of the Westboro Baptist Church. You know those fucking awful people? They hate gays so much, they protest the funerals of our dead troops because they think that God is punishing America for homosexuality by killing soldiers. So they'll stand outside a soldier's wake with signs going like, God hates fags and God loves dead soldiers. And you can't hit them. It's a free speech issue. You cannot hit them. But I do look forward to the day we can give people AIDS through email. So I did a Sandusky joke. It was a wordplay joke. I forget what the headline of the day was. Something like, Jerry Sandusky refuses to face accusers. So I wrote something like, well, of course he doesn't want to face his accusers. He'd rather stand right behind them. Which was rather cheeky of me, I thought. I actually made that face after I said it. So Margie Phelps quotes my tweet and then retweets it and writes, you mock sin, and then writes the hashtag doomed. Which made me feel good when I thought about it. And I addressed her on Twitter, but she's like a religious fanatic, so I tried to be respectful. I'm like, with all due respect, what would you do if you met God and he called you a cunt? Thank you guys for coming, man. I do appreciate it. And thank you guys for supporting the radio show. We know that you do, and thank you. Now, here's the hard part I've had meeting women. It really is very, very difficult to find somebody that knows how to fuck you. My last girlfriend was amazing in bed, but did you ever end a relationship because if you don't, the police and court system will? It was like one of the, like I never violate a woman's space when we're arguing, but she was one of those people who would get like this close and say like, so what the fuck are you gonna do? But not nearly as feminine and sexy as I just said it. And I knew I had to end the relationship because we're laying in bed one night and she is on a 3-hour fucking complaining bender. And I started to think like, all right, how much time would I get if I stabbed her? But I didn't just think it, I actually walked myself through the appeals process time off for good behavior? Do I have a suit that I can wear for court? Could I record this and play it for the judge? Wow, Jim, she is a twat. Case dismissed. But the sex was so good, and it's so hard to replace because she was crazy. She had that fucking thing that makes you great in bed, which also makes you very difficult to deal with. She would say these things. Now, she has no idea that I would do this, but on my phone, I have a little section, and it's called You Think I Don't Listen. And for 2 years, just so you know I'm not lying, I would write down things that she said, and I'm going to read you a couple of them. And these are not things said to be funny or to be crazy, and she had no idea that I was running into the bathroom going, oh, you are fucking out of your mind. We were talking one time, and she goes, I'm not into retards. I don't give a fuck how big their dicks are. Another one. Did you notice that I burped while I was sucking your dick? It tasted like Dijon mustard. Fat guys jerk off all slow and fat. Your cum always gives me heartburn. This one hurt. If I was cheating on you, you'd know. The next time you fucked me, you wouldn't feel anything. I want my next abortion to be in a really nice place. And this is my favorite one. I cut such a putrid fart on the train today. Thank God I was standing next to 3 Mexicans. You ever have somebody change your life by things they do sexually? She changed my life. We were having sex. And when I came, I shot it across her right breast. Now, I am bragging a little bit because we were fucking doggy style. And it was a very impressive ricochet off of my Taylor Swift poster. And she's laying there with my cum on her breast, and she takes my head and pushes my face into it and says, now clean it off, bitch. I cannot express the horror as my tongue rolled out. I think I even said, all done. And it had no taste for about 20 seconds. And then that cum flavor hit me. Cum is a horrible beverage. What the fuck is it made of? It's metallic, it tastes dirty with blood and sadness in it. It clings to your teeth and your gums and your throat. I felt like I drank the bad guy from Terminator 2. So to women, I am so sorry for all those times I was like, yeah, I'll tell you when I'm gonna come. And then forgot and laughed as you were vomiting out my passenger window. Thank you very much. You guys were great, Cleveland. I love you. Thank you guys for coming down. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I want to dedicate this show with love to Patrice O'Neal. Thank you very much.